Love what you do and do what you love.
I was born and raised in Buffalo, New York, and I left here when I was about 17 years old. I moved to Baltimore, Maryland to attend Morgan State University and receive my undergraduate degree. And then once I finished that, I ended up moving to Atlanta, Georgia for a couple years. I knew that I wanted to open up some type of business, so I decided to go to school to receive my master's in business administration. And then that's when I decided to enroll in Medaille College, their MBA program. Probably in my early 20s, I knew that I didn't want to work for someone else for the rest of my life, so that's kind of what sealed the idea of me opening up my own business. Well, I participated in a program through the Buffalo Economic Renaissance Corporation, and I started that program shortly after completing the MBA program at Medaille. And in the EAP program through Burke, they pretty much taught you how to write a business plan, and once I finished the business plan, that's when I started to get the ball rolling with actually opening up the business and bringing the dream to life. Michelle Barron from Burke, she's been a great help to me. Also, David Bunis, his family, they opened up the sample stores years ago. A lot of people here in Buffalo remember the sample stores. And also Mary Powell, she's been a lot of help as well. Her family started the Casilio Construction Company. I carry a lot of contemporary ladies' clothing, only ladies' clothing. And one of the lines that I'm most proudest to carry is Mara Hoffman's line. She's a Buffalo native. She actually graduated from Buffalo Seminary here in Buffalo. And she finished her fashion design degree from Parsons in New York City, and she's doing very well. Her designs are carried all over the world. I also carry Twisted Heart, House of Darion, which is a line that's really popular right now. It was started by Beyonce Knowles and her mother. And the name of the line, House of Darion, is her great-grandmother. She's the namesake for the line. I carry local jewelry designers. I haven't really carried any local clothing designers except for Mara Hoffman. I really don't get approached by many people for clothing on the local level. So if anybody would be interested in bringing some things to me to let me see them so I can consider possibly bringing them into the store, I would be happy to do so. Well, you don't get a lot of sleep. That's one of the major pitfalls. And it's just, like I said, I didn't want to work for anyone else for the rest of my life, but you definitely work 10 times harder when you work for yourself. And for me personally, I take more pride in what I do working for myself than working for someone else. So I'm very nitpicky and very detail oriented. So that makes the job a little bit harder because I'm very critical of what I do. I want things to be perfect. Planning is a big part of it. You really need to think it through. Don't decide that you're just going to come up with some idea one day and then do it overnight. You really need to plan it out, think about the financial aspects, all the risks associated with opening up your own business, and just be prepared to work really hard. Don't think for a second that working for yourself is going to be easier than working for another company or something like that. Where it comes from really isn't a factor for me. It just has to catch my eye when I see it. It may not even necessarily be something that I would wear personally, but if I see it and it catches my eye, that plays a major role in whether I decide to bring it into the store or not. I'm doing something that I really love doing, and even though it's a lot of hard work, I don't hate getting up out of the bed every morning to go to a job that I hate. I love doing what I'm doing, so I look forward to coming here every day. I would say that being a woman and being a black woman in particular, it really hasn't played a real role in the success of my business or in the difficulty of me getting it started or anything like that. I think that it's more issue of perseverance and how determined you are. I don't think that race or sex or anything like that plays a role in the level of your success. It just depends on how bad you really want it. And the most satisfying thing about the job is also, I would say, just being a role model to other young black women. One of the best things that when I get the most satisfaction is when a person comes in here and they actually may possibly think that I'm just a worker or I'm not actually the owner of the business, but then they look up on the wall and they see the article that was in the Buffalo newspaper about the store and they see my picture, so then they may look over at me and they're like, oh, you're the owner. So that's I get a lot of gratification when that happens. It makes me feel good to know that I can be a positive influence and just help other young women, in particular young Black women, know that if I can do it, they can do it as well.